Beginning in the late 1920s, in order to determine the most popular stations and programs, surveys were one of the most vital, including C.E. Hooper Incorporated, the telephone, and the CAB, which also a telephone. In 1968, radar telephone reached 600 households. They share information for networks. Arbitron or the week-long diary were the current leader among station program. Later on 1963, Broadcast Rating Council has established to monitor, audit, and accredit ratings companies. It was renamed Electronic Media Planning Council in 1982. It reflects the involvement with the cable television's radios. In 1997, it also renamed it Rating Council. Now it represents the radio, TV, cable, and print. Arbitron measures listenerships in the MISA, that city or urban center. TSA covers the surrounding community. ADI are the stations of primary listening locations. Arbitron daily diaries logged time tuned to a station program named AM or FM, including the age, sex, and area of residences. 1970s to the early 1990s, Birch Scarborough gathered the data by calling equal numbers of male and female listeners aged 12 and over. A different format reports and retrieval system that the company went out for business on December 31st, 1991. Audiences, advertisers, and agencies are compensations buying rankings numbers for qualities. Age and sex of target audience must be considered, in fact, their lifestyle, values, and behaviors too. The paper-sized PPM devices that allows records the audience listening pattern. Arbitron hopes it eventually replaces its long-used the 7-day paper diary. Different station in the house uses telephone, computers, websites, face-to-face and mail methods. The major survey companies adjusted their survey techniques, from weekly com rating to radio research. Radio advertising bureaus, the RAD or radio research. Audience composition or the age, sex, or ethnic makeup stations of listening audience. AQH or the average quarter hour are the number of people listening in a quarter hour. Choice. Listeners choose only one station. Composition. What percentage of the listeners? Q. The estimated numbers of different listeners with specific time schedule. Demographics. Population groups identified by their age, sex, and ethnicity. Discrete demographic do not overlap to when men and women aged 18 to 24, 25 and 34, 35 and 44. Target demographics are broader and indicate audience station programming aimed for men and women aged 18 to 34, 25 to 49. Designated market area. The gross quarter hours or the impressions are the total quarter hours of listening to a station by its audience. It's indexed. Loyalty. The measure of the amount quarter hours listeners contributes to the station. Metro survey area. The MSA or metro corresponds to the government-defined market. Non-metro, surveyed only in the spring and fall surveys. Persons, the total count. Persons using radio or the PUR, the total average quarter, how audience were on radio. Ratings, the person estimates expressed as a percent of the populations. Share, station percentage of all radio listening. Time spent listening, or the TSL, the amount of time and the average person spends listening. Total market, total survey area, or the TSA. Trip Eldredge, President Direct Marketing Results. The use of strategy and methods and introductions to PPM that understands the radio listening. Methodologies are important of core listeners to the radio station. It highly targeted to existing potential, focused with clear benefits driven message, and reinforced through varied frequent communications. Targeting is the key to let any marketing communication plans reaching the correct audiences.